What's going on, Giants fans? In today's show, we're going through a 7-round Giants mock draft. I asked you guys to answer the bell, and you did that by commenting me on the last video. I didn't know you guys wanted one so bad, so in today's video, we're going to get you a 7-round mock draft, go through every single pick, and then at the end, I'm going to ask you to grade me, and not be easy. These are the picks the Giants have. They have 9 total picks, 2 first-round selections, a second, 2 thirds, a fourth, 2 fifths, and a sixth. No 7th round picks, so no, getting lucky and find another Tay Crowder, no Mr. Irrelevant unless a trade happens. I do want to set the stage, though. For this first mock draft, I didn't make any trades. I wanted just to get you guys names that you need to start thinking about, doing some research about for the slated picks the Giants have. So do you want a mock draft with trades? If you do, go down and like this video. We got to pay, the premium fee on the Pro Draft Simulator to get trades. So if you want one, my boss Brett, he told me we could pay for it if we get enough likes on this video. Let's say 300, 400 likes. So if you want a mock draft with trades, go down and like this video. Through the first pick, we'll go through to the first 5 picks. Aiden Hutchinson, he went number 1 to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Malik Willis, he goes number 2 to the Detroit Lions. They get their QB. Ahmad Sauce Gardner goes number 3 overall to the Houston Texans. And then Kyle Hamilton goes number 4 overall to the New York Jets. And I'm sitting at the board and I'm like, all right, we got both our offensive tackles on the board, but most of the skill position guys are gone. You don't got the top corner. You don't got the top safety. Maybe you go Kayvon Thibodeau here, but I decided to go with Ikem Ekwonu, the offensive tackle out of North Carolina State, and I think, that it's kind of an easy pick for me, and if Joe Schoen is in this seat and in this position and the draft board plays out like this, I hope he takes Ikem Ekwonu because the Giants' biggest need is offensive tackle, and Ikem, he's my number 1 offensive tackle in the draft. He's the best run blocker in the draft, in my opinion, and I think he'll easily shift over to the right side and make a seamless transition. With him on the right side and Andrew Thomas on the left side, you have 2 bookend tackles that will be able to protect Daniel Jones or whoever the next Giants franchise quarterback is for the next 10 to 12 years. I really like this pick because I believe Ikem Ekwonu is the best offensive tackle in the draft. When you look at what he did in the 2021 college football season and his pro football focus grades, a 91.6 overall grade. His pass blocking grade, just 78.3, but I wouldn't read too much into that. This dude is an absolute mauler, and when he gets his hands on you, he can consistently finish his blocks, a 93.8 run block grade, and gave up just 2 sacks last year, which I think shows a little bit that he's not a bad pass blocker. He does have some room to improve, but on the right side, he's going to be asked to just create holes for Saquon Barkley. I took Ikem Ekwonu, but I want you to sound off in the comments section and let me know. Who would you have picked at number 5 in that situation? Sauce Gardner was gone. Kyle Hamilton was gone. Hutchinson was gone. A lot of the other players that we wanted were gone, but my home run pick would be Ikem Ekwonu. So get in the comments and let me know, who do you want at pick number 5? And go down and hit that big red button. We're trying to get to 7,000 subscribers here on the channel. We're just about 120 subs away, and I think we can get there on this video. Send it to a friend that loves the Giants, and they want to stay up to date on more Giants draft rumors, and maybe they want a 7-round Giants mock draft. So send it to a friend, and go hit that big red button and help us get to 7,000 subscribers. With pick number 6, the Carolina Panthers, they selected Charles Cross. So now you're back in this situation. Do you reach and do you go for an edge? Or where do you look at? You got a lot of guys still on the board that are really, really good. You got Evan Neal still on the board, who's arguably the best tackle in this draft. And then you got Kayvon Thibodeau, arguably one of the best pass rushers in this draft. Maybe you want an outside playmaker like Garrett Wilson, or maybe you want an edge rusher like Trayvon Walker, or maybe this is the year the Giants finally take an off-ball linebacker in the first round of Devin Lloyd. But I said no. You know what? I'm going Evan Neal at number 7. And no, that's not a typo. I got Ikem Ekwonu at 5 and Evan Neal at 7. And you're probably like, Marshall, you just took an offensive tackle. Well, Evan Neal, he played some snaps at guard for Bama through his career at Bama, and I like that. I just think this is the final time the Giants will have to address the offensive line in the first round. With Neal, Ekwonu, and Andrew Thomas, those are 3 top 10 offensive linemen across your front 5, and I think you would be sitting pretty for the next 10 to 12 years. He was the number 1 player on my board, and if we learned anything through the draft cycle, Joe Schoen is going to take the best player available, and if it's Evan Neal, hopefully that's the guy they call. An overall PFF grade of 84.5 and similar numbers across the board. An 80 pass block grade and an 83.6 run blocking grade. I think he would seamlessly transition to right guard or left guard. He's a very flexible and versatile offensive lineman, gave up just 2 sacks last year. But I want you to weigh in right here. Maybe you don't like going offensive tackle at 5, and then offensive tackle switching to offensive guard at 7. And that's fine, but let's embrace debate in the comments section. Would you draft Ikem Ekwonu and Evan Neal at pick 5 and pick 7 if they were on the board? Go down and type Y for yes. Or if you're like, no way, no how, we got to get a playmaker, that's fine. I can understand it. You can go down in the comments and type N for no. This NFL mock draft continues to roll on, and at pick number 36, these are the guys on the board that I had in my mind that the Giants could look at. You got David Ajabu coming off that Achilles injury. Sam Williams, the edge rusher out of Ole Miss, has some off-the-field stuff, but this is someone that was very good last year for Ole Miss. Jahan Dotson, the wide receiver out of Penn State. I really like him. I think he could be a Sterling Shepard replacement if Shep is gone next year. Then you got Daxton Hill, the DB. He plays safety. He can play a little bit of slot corner, a very versatile player. And then you got Arnold Edebike. He's a defensive end out of Penn State, and I really like him as well. And I decided to go with Arnold at this pick. I decided between David Ajabu and him, and just the Achilles injury with Ajabu kind of, just held me back a little bit. And it's not like we're getting a bad player. This is someone who has a bunch of production at Penn State. He started his NCAA career at Temple, then transferred to Penn State, and in 2021, he popped off the field. 62 total tackles, 18 tackles for loss, 9.5 sacks, and 2 forced fumbles. Him with Azeez Ojulari and Leonard Williams, that would be a re-improved and revamped front 7 for the New York Giants. I think he could be a day 1 player for the Giants and produce right away. But I want you to get in the comments and pick an edge at 36. There was a lot of guys I thought of. Sam Williams, Ajabu, Arnold, Drake Jackson. There was a lot of guys I could have went. But I want you to get in the comments and let me know. Type DO for Ajabu, SW for Sam Williams, AE for Arnold, or DJ for Drake Jackson. In the third round with pick number 67, these were the guys on the board that I was thinking about taking. You got Leon O'Neal Jr., the safety out of Texas A&M, a very versatile player. The Giants have indeed for safety, so that makes sense. And then Nick Benito, the edge out of Oklahoma. I like him, but we just took an edge, so I don't want to go back-to-back. Then Quay Walker, the off-ball linebacker out of Georgia. Every dude from that Georgia defense was an absolute stud. And then Kobe Bryant, the cornerback, the second quarterback out of Cincinnati. I really like him, a long, lanky defender that can play press coverage. And then Daniel Falele, the offensive tackle out of Minnesota. But I decided to go with the Georgia Bulldog, Quay Walker, the off-ball linebacker, and this guy is an absolute physical specimen. 6'4", 240 pounds, ran a 4.5 240 at the NFL Combine. So this is someone that is an extremely athletic person, and some draft experts have him higher on their boards than someone like Nakobe Dean. I don't agree with that at all. I like Nakobe Dean a lot. He's my linebacker too in this draft. I like Quay Walker a lot. He could be a great fit next to Blake Martinez. He's extremely rangy, extremely athletic, and he has the ability to drop into coverage and be somewhat of a coverage linebacker, can cover tight ends. I wouldn't expect him to be, an awesome coverage guy, but he's 6'4", 240, runs a 4.5. This guy would be a home run pick for the Giants. But what's a bigger need? And I thought about all 3 of these positions in the third round. Is it receiver? Is it corner? Is it safety? You got a need at all of them, at all of those positions. But I want you to sound off in the comments section for me right now. What's a bigger need for the New York Giants? Is it wide receiver? Type WR. Is it cornerback? Go down and type CB. Or is it safety? You can go down in the comments and type S. Let me know where you stand, because I'm curious, because those are all thoughts that I had when I went into this past selection. In the 4th round, I had the Giants selecting John Mechie, the wide receiver out of Alabama, and he absolutely balled out in 2021. He did tear his ACL, in December, so he may not be ready for week 1. Maybe he's back by week 6, but you're getting someone that might have been a wide receiver 5 or 6 in this draft and go in the 1st or 2nd round if he didn't tear his ACL. 96 grabs for almost 1,200 yards and 8 TDs, and the SEC, Mechie's upside is too high to pass on. This is someone that could be a wide receiver too for a long time in the NFL. He has the versatility to play on the outside and win in one-on-one situations, as well as slide into the slot and show his ability to be a complete route runner. I think him with a new quarterback coming in next year, whether that's Bryce Young or CJ Stroud or Daniel Jones if he proves the guy, I think this is someone that he could build a really solid relationship with, because Mechie is just great at getting open and has really strong hands. He's a big-time playmaker, and that's why I had the Giants selecting him, even though he's coming off that torn ACL. Over here at Giants Now, we are growing like crazy, and we're also going to different platforms for you guys to digest Giants content. We are now on Rumble, rumble.com/NYGiantsTV. Give us a follow for free and uncensored content. They've also got a lot of news, politics, and tech type of stuff over there, and we're just growing to platforms you use. So give us a follow. Help us get to 1,000 followers, rumble.com/NYGiantsTV. With the other fourth-round pick, I had the Giants selecting Jelani Woods with pick number 112, and I think this is a good pick because he's a great player, and it fills a position of need. The Giants, they need another tight end because their tight end one right now is Ricky Seals-Jones. And Jelani Woods, he's athletic, he's big, he's someone that can go across the middle, and he can win on one-on-one situations against linebackers. He's too big for corners, too big for safeties, and too fast for linebackers. 44 grabs last year for almost 600 yards and 8 touchdowns. He is a dynamic red zone threat. One of those guys that you can spread out one-on-one in a situation and just throw him a jump ball fade. I think he'd fit really well in a Brian Daboll offense. With round number 5 and pick 147, I had the Giants selecting the cornerback out of Penn State, Tariq Castro-Fields, and I like him a lot. He's extremely tall. He's about 6'1", 6'2". He's a press man corner and someone that would thrive in a Wink Martindale defense. Last year, 33 tackles, didn't have a pick, but had 6 pass breakups. He is actually pretty fast for his size. This is someone that I like a lot, and I think he could be, maybe not a starter on day one, but this is someone that could come in and learn the system and excel. He ran a 4.38 40 at the NFL Combine, and he's 6'1", 200 pounds, legit size, legit speed, and if he gets coached up in that system, I think he could really excel in a press man type of system. In round number 6 with pick number 173, I had the Giants drafting Hassan Haskins, the running back out of Michigan. And this may, some people be like, why are we taking a running back? We got Saquon Barkley. We just signed another player in a free agency that plays running back. But Hassan Haskins was an absolute dog at Michigan. This is someone that went for 20 rushing touchdowns. He dominated Ohio State when they played against him. 270 carries, 1,300 yards, 5 yards a pop, 20 touchdowns. This is a bell cow running back. And if you don't have long-term plans of re-signing Saquon Barkley, if you can get a steal in the 6th round like Haskins, that could maybe be your RB1 down the road, I think that would be a solid pick by Joe Schoen. It's all about best player available with him, and I think Haskins is the best player available at that spot, and I like him a lot. 20 touchdowns, the dude's a dog. With the last pick the Giants have in the NFL draft, pick number 182 in the 6th round, I had them drafting interior offensive lineman Donovan West out of Arizona State. This is someone that has versatility to play a lot of spots on the offensive line. He can play left guard, he can play right guard, and he can play center. I think he fits best in the NFL at the center spot. A little bit undersized, but he's a grinder. He's got a really strong motor, and he's really smart. He's someone that can communicate across the offensive line to get everybody in the right position. And at the 6th round, at this point, you're just throwing darts at the dartboard, hoping you can hit. I like adding another interior offensive lineman to this Giants roster. I don't expect him to be a starter, but maybe 2 or 3 years from now, if he plays and continues to develop, he could be the starting just center for the New York Giants down the road. Let's recap what I had the Giants doing in this 7-round mock draft with their 9 total picks. I had Ikem Ekwonu going number 5 in the 1st round. I think he's going to be a solid starting right tackle for the Giants for a very long time. Then Evan Neal, he was the best player on my board available, and I'm going to switch him to right guard, and that way you fix this Giants offensive line once and for all. Then I had Arnold Ebiketie, butchering that name, I'm sorry, but he's a defensive end out of Penn State, a very strong edge rusher, and has a bag full of pass rush moves, a nonstop motor, someone I really like. I got him at pick number 36. Then Quay Walker, someone I think could start day one for the Giants, a sideline-to-sideline linebacker, 6'4", ran a 4.5. I really like him a lot. Everyone out of Georgia that played on that defense is a dog, no pun intended. Then John Mechie, the wide receiver out of Bama, coming off that torn ACL. I got him with pick number 81. I just think the upside was too good to pass on. Then round 4, I got another tight end for the Giants to compete with Ricky Seals-Jones to be the starter, and that's Jelani Woods out of Virginia. Played really well last year, had 8 total touchdowns. I think he could really succeed in the Daboll offense. Then I got Tariq Castro-Fields in round 5, a cornerback, 6'1", ran a 4.38 40, long, strong, and quick. Someone I think that could excel in a press coverage defense. Then Hassan Haskins, the running back out of Michigan, the 20 Tutty Haskins, that's what I'm going to call him. And then Donovan West, the interior offensive lineman. I like the versatility. And in the 6th round, I'm just hoping that he hits. I want you now to grade my mock draft. It was tough. I spent a lot of hours in the lab doing research for you guys because you asked for it. So don't take it easy on me. If I don't get at least 1 F, that means the mock draft wasn't good. So grade it for me, A, B, C, D, or F.